We wanted to compare if somebody do this course, because with this team we are going to give them an exam. We want to see the average of the marks they will get in comparison with the Kenyan people, Ministry of Public Works, KPA, which average they got when we are training physical versus training virtual. When we marks the grade, it will give us an idea of somebody how he can understand if you teach him in industrial metaverse. So what we wanted to see if we can start a discussion, because we have been discussing for 5 years. We are presenting this, many visitors come here, but we wanted to get the right people who are from TVET institution. We discuss with you this, because you are the people who will change. I buy sugar, I buy water at a certain cost. If TVET people are able to work properly in industry, the sugar cost will reduce, the water cost will reduce, the Coca-Cola Fanta will reduce, because if we continue to outsource the services, it will be too expensive. Other things I need to see the TVET institution collaborating with industries and collaborating with universities. University wanted to train the trainers, but we want also TVET and help us to collaborate, to discuss, because you are the one who send the people to industry direct. Even when you can see a student in the university going to do welding in the industry, it is not his job. It is like to see an elephant trying to climb a tree. A chimpanzee can do it better. So for us, we don't want to send our engineers to go to industry to do welding. Let them design systems. That is the job the university must be doing. Then we want also to see whether we can co-create, because we are talking about the policies, the teaching. Because if you teach what is something which is not happening in industry, it is another problem. You are teaching someone, but you don't know where he's going to work. So that is what also we want. We need also to discuss, that is what Wamwange was saying, implementation roadmap, how these things can work. You have the G2, we call it the G2ME project, where you got many computers. I visited some institution to see those G2ME infrastructure. We have also G2ME here. But when you look at that infrastructure, sometimes somebody can show you an infrastructure is good, but when you touch it, there is a lot of dust. It will tell you this infrastructure is not being used. So how can we use this G2ME computers you have received so that we can put this product? We are putting this product on a SideQuest where you can get the handset and you download it. When you download it, you start to use the infrastructure, there's no problem. Then we discuss how can we keep updating as you get what you want. Then we start the dialogue and engage. The last slide. What we have managed to do here, definitely we managed to train 23 TVET institutions with 42 champions. It's a good number for now when you train people. The people training here, some of my former students, I know how their performance was. When I'm sitting them in a class and train them, I just coach them. I'm not training them. I know how they are. I know many of them because I have the mechatronics, and it was the first client to take the mechatronics from here. Then something else we have done, we focused on the discipline which all of us we are looking at: mechanical, electrical, mechatronics, and computer. We wanted to see if these people can go to industry and start to work. An engineer in the shop, in the first floor, can communicate with the TVET person on the shop floor so that they can be able to communicate, to agree on what to be done. So another thing we are happy with, we are training people below 35. I got one Masinga. He was my good friend, but he was above 35. As much as he's my friend, even me, I was not trained because I'm above 35. So I have to allow people, young people. That's the reason why when you see our logo of the center, we have a logo here, the virtual mechatrons, the last logo. Somebody may see his aim, but he's a person seated in that position for a whole day. If you tell somebody like a principal to sit in that position even 2 minutes, it can be tricky. But if I tell these young people to sit a whole day in that position, it's not a problem. That our philosophy, virtual mechatrons can be done only by the people below 35 years. So that is the reason we have that logo. So other things we try to do, we wanted to have independent champions, the people who can maintain and upgrade, because we have not taught this team how to do much programming. But when we give you infrastructure, we don't want them to keep calling us. For us, we are training. We are a university. We are not like a shop. If we are a shop, we are training you, but we are in a garage. When you take a car in the garage, mechanic can repair what you told him, but if you see another problem, he doesn't tell you, so that you come back. But university, we are not a shop. We are a university. We train people and we make sure we make you a person we want you to be. So it means when we are training here, we want the people who can upgrade. We want to send back this team so that they can come. We keep upgrading them and showing them how this infrastructure works. We show them the back end. We show them information. We want to give the information for the sake of our children, because I want this team of TVET below 35. They are the ones to teach my children. I want them to teach them. I don't want to struggle getting money here, buying land here, so that my children can have money. I want them to be educated. Even myself, I'm not using the land from my dad. I am here using the brain. So I want also my children and other people to use the same infrastructure. So something else we want to do scalable with you. We wanted to see how this infrastructure can be scaled toward the National Polytechnic, toward the TTIs, toward the TVC. We have school, Kenya School of TVET. Somebody mentioned it. I have been discussing with the Tarno. I have been with him, Dr. Tarno. Yeah, it's a school, Kenya School of TVET. But I think this can be a school of TVET in a different way. Because for us, we are not teaching you pedagogy. We are teaching you another form of thinking. This is a disruption. At some point, many people will lose job. If we started to do this metaverse, we will have a lot of problems. Many people will, one lecturer will not to go to class. I don't know, in the next 20 years, if metaverse continue, whether if we need to have a conference, whether we'll sit in this room like this, or we'll sit in our house. In that case, we will save the logistics, the car, the petrol, the climate change, the car in the road. So we have a very good climate, so we remain in the house. But what is implication? Mr. Wamwangi will not pay you a night out to come here. So that is problem. But that is what we are trying to think about. Then we have to support the national transformation. Then the last slide, go to the last slide. We were lucky in this university when we started this metaverse. There is a person called Professor Lavar. He's the one who patented this handset we call Oculus. He learned about us, and then he took a flight to come to greet us. So we are very happy. Most of the time when you read the book, it is hard to get the owner. You read the book, but you don't know the owner. When you get a chance to meet somebody who developed a product, you ask him what he wanted. He developed it when he wanted to do gaming to entertain people, but we have converted it to TVET. So another thing we are working with UNIDO, with Professor Sama, we are trying to do smart manufacturing for Africa. We are putting together the scholars, the Africans, where they are in Europe. Then we want them to come together, look for African solutions. That is why Professor Sama came here. I requested him, come and talk to our fellow Africans. And you have been 20 years in Mercedes. You have good experience. He's a professor at University of Karlsruhe. When I did the experiment in 2007 at University of Karlsruhe, I was dreaming to remain in that university, but I'm finding somebody who is teaching there. When it was the same. So we are working with UNIDO in the same. We are trying to make sure that we can work together in this project. The last slide. This is to thank you so much and to welcome you to this next session where we are going to have the people in the handset wirelessly, and they are able to move to show you what do we have, the virtual. But we are encouraging everyone. We don't allow anybody to live here without this metaverse. Kindly allow us to, because we have these young people, they have been sleeping in this lab. Sometimes they don't go home. In this lab, there is no working hours. So I think they can appreciate if they see the parent coming here and appreciate the product they have done.